fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue with red and white, officially weighing in at 125, 3/4 pounds. His profession, Caballero.
Shake hands. Good luck. God bless.
Caballero.
122 pounds compared to 126.
Both conventional fighters, as you see. Caballero has been known in some fights to walk opponents down, has been known in some other fights to box and move, can fight in different styles.
Most of the general boxing people.
Correct. Taylor Asaminos correctly ruling that that was a slip, push down, not anything close to a knockdown.
And besides that, the top featherweight in the world is Chris John, also from Indonesia.
What I do like Caballero, he maintains the best he can his distance. He jabs, he does a lot of, I call whacking punches, but maintains the distance. It seems to like...
Look to the body himself.
Good job.
Copy box numbers show that round one was all Caballero. He landed 32 of 111 punches through 77 jabs. But it wasn't the jabs that did the damage. It was the... And it was a little bit of a consolation prize for him. The original intention a few years ago was to hire Floyd Mayweather Sr. And he had that discussion, but decided that Mayweather Sr. was simply too busy with too many fighters, and then turned his attention to Jeff.
And it's interesting, Caballero is a very, very busy fighter. He's very relaxed. Seems to have very good focus.
Yordan is clearly just counting on power to neutralize the busyness.
That's right. That was the count.
Misses a long right hand, gets countered perfectly by an uppercut right onto his seat. I mean, that was textbook by Caballero.
I was just about to say that. He was throwing the right hand, and he was seeing roll of his shoulder, and he came back with a rolling counter uppercut.
Brilliant.
And the frustration of getting hit so much, he got over it.
You gotta get this water picked up.
As Yordan threw. And Caballero stepping up the power in the second round. 23 out of 47 power shots. He's been excellent in rounds 1 and 2.
I wonder if at the age of 33, he can sustain this kind of effort.
Well, that's a good point, right? He's a very busy fighter. A lot of guys, as they get older, they become more on the defense, but he's an extremely pace-setting type fighter. His jab is not a hard jab, as I said earlier, but it's a probing jab that keeps you busy.
He tried to duck back from a Yordan right hand along the ropes. That wasn't a good idea, as Yordan was able to find it. Now the left Caballero hasn't really gotten his offense started here in the third round.
No, Yordan is starting to close the pressure on him a little bit more. And he realizes he can't set back at a distance, just block, and punch. So he's just becoming much more aggressive now.
And by the way, just to be sure that you understand Harold Letterman's scoring for the first 2 rounds, he did score the second round, 10-8 for Caballero.
Bishop has been a nice person.
You wonder if against quick counterpunchers, would Caballero have a chance to load up on these body punches the way he does?
Yeah, it's still a few questions I have about him, but right now he's fighting a perfect fight for his physical structure. Very, very busy and loads up. But you know, and then he changes up. He'll start throwing short punches up inside for a tall guy.
Good left hook by Yordan. Caballero comes right back with 2 body shots. Another pair of body shots by the Panamanian fighter.
Punch out, don't hold. Don't hold.
At 33, Caballero is hardly a prospect, but if he's trying to break into the featherweight division, he's given 3 rounds of pure professionalism and activity, and he belongs so far.
Yes.
And that's how he's treating Yordan.
Giving him a smacking.
You know, we mentioned earlier that Jeff Mayweather was the trainer for Caballero, but also
he's getting beaten up, Emmanuel.
Yeah, he's still
taking a terrible beating. He still has a chance because he's strong and he's tough, but
he is getting ripped to the body. I mean, I've seldom seen a fighter in the first 4 rounds take as many body shots as Caballero has landed on Yordan. do you do about that?
It's a machine.
One of the worst things that can happen to a boxer is that he gets hammered for 12 rounds, particularly to the body, by a guy who makes solid contact and doesn't quite have the power to knock him out. The knockout is often more merciful than the constant punishment over the course of 12 rounds.
And that pretty much describes this fight, because even though Caballero is landing all of the punches, he's not really properly punching, where he's a hard, devastating puncher as a result of him being out of position. He got caught with a clean punch. But he's never been seriously staggered or hurt in the fight yet.
I don't think I thought that Levander Johnson was ever really hurt against Jesus Chavez.
Yeah,
and he died that night. Now, I'm not saying that it could happen here.
No, yeah, but he's been taking so many beatings like that, too. That was his style.
He was a veteran who had taken that kind of beating. Yes. That's correct. Good point. Money for continuing relief efforts there. And looking around the arena, I would have to say, not enough of it, unfortunately.
He actually got up in the ring himself sometimes to stop the fight for the rubber. I think
it's just common sense.
And then eventually he was deposed and is no longer in charge of the New Jersey
well,
State Athletic Commission.
that was just normal state politics. But I always admired for Hazard for being willing to take that responsibility on his shoulders if the referee would.
I honestly have to tell you, if somebody from this state commission were to step up and do something that intelligent, I'd fall off my chair.
Get up. The glove, you gotta take the left glove. Ace.
If the risk versus reward equation seems illogical for Yordan, his corner seems to believe otherwise.
This is becoming cruel and unnecessary.
Well, you know, it was one fight I was remembered in Atlantic City where I think it was Prince Charles Williams was fighting Murky Soso and stopped the fight, period. Because he said it was just two in him.
Yeah, well, Larry Hazard was one of a kind, guys. You know, we just don't have another Larry Hazard in the sport of boxing right now. That's my belief. Perhaps the more instrumental fight in determining what happens tonight is Miguel Cotto's win over Quintana, in which he sledgehammered Quintana to the body, and Quintana retired after 5 rounds. The first 6 rounds were so easy, Emmanuel. I wonder if Caballero lost some of his concentration. He's allowed himself to be hit a little bit more in the second half of the fight.
Yeah, he's so relaxed now. He's looking out in the crowd. He's trying to Manian fight. I think Silvio Pedrosa, I think, was very much like this. It was a body puncher that really wore you out with whacking you with shots.
Until beaten by Barry McGuigan in Belfast. On a great, great night for Irish boxing. The late Eusebio Pedrosa. During the course of this. Moments ago, he literally turned to the photographers on the ring apron and laughed and joked with them. Yordan lands another left to the chin of Caballero, but even though Yordan against Guerrero in a game here tonight looks like a fighter with speed and power, he has not been able to hurt Caballero, and that goes to Emmanuel's point about how relaxed the Panamanian fighter is.
Yes, he is. He rolls, he field punches, he rolls and twists.
Numbers, one-sided as you might expect.
Okay, here's the last one.
Last round. Caballero was off balance for a moment. That has the crowd tremendously excited. Brings a big burst of energy from Yordan.
No, he was up to it. He's just so relaxed right now. And that's what he's doing, leaning like that. Very hard to get a good clean punch if he's leaning back in that position.
Got him now. Now he's going to punish Yordan for what he did. This is the competitive fury you talked about, Emmanuel.
Yep, he's not going to let him down.
He was momentarily out of control of the fight, and now he will punish Yordan for that.
Instead of saying, out of my head, I can just coast and get through the fight, he's going to come back.
Well, he is a courageous kid. You have to give him credit for toughing this one out. too brave for his own good.
Closing seconds of the fight. One more hard body shot from Caballero, and now we're done. Counterpunched him all night long. CompuBox note. Celestino Caballero's 1,248 total punches.
And Thomas Nardone, 118-108, all to the winner by unanimous decision. Celestino Pelichin Caballero.